Reginald Guy. I am a speaker, trainer, author, and a coach. And I'd like to share with you some principles for life. These are principles that I outlined in my book, Cerebral Kick 7 Pathways to a Successful Life. I'd like to share these principles with you because I think they can add tremendous value to you if you were to take a few minutes to learn and practice these principles. It may even cause a significant breakthrough in some area of your life. Let's give it a try. Principle number 1, learn to use the F words. No, not those F words. These F words. Forgiveness and forgetting. Forgive and forget. Someone said to me recently, Reg, I cannot forget. I'm going to forgive, but I am not going to forget. And I say many times, I hear people saying the same thing. And often, they confuse letting go with forgetting. Forgetting is not letting go. You need to let go of the pain, the hurt, the anger, the bitterness that's associated with that incident. But you don't want to forget what happened. You want to remember what happened. Why? If you forgot what happened, you lose the learning from the experience. If you forgot what happened, you cannot protect yourself in the future. If you forgot what happened, you cannot help others protect themselves in the future. So you don't want to forget what happened, but you want to let go of the pain, the anger, the resentment that's associated with transgressions. Think about it. People ruminate. They keep thinking about it over and over and over. They keep it alive. It's like tearing a scab off of a wound that's healing. They prevent it from healing and they run the risk of an infection. Some years later, it's so difficult, it's so traumatic. The intervention needed to recover is far greater than the intervention that was needed in the beginning. So you need to learn to let it go. Think about it. Who is the beneficiary of forgiveness? Is it you or the other person? If you keep walking around with pain and anger and resentment, it's like keeping poison in a jar and it's destroying the jar. It's destroying the container. You don't want to do that. So forgiving is not benefiting the other person, it's benefiting you. It's getting you to get rid of the poison. And you need to do that. Otherwise, you're slowly killing yourself. Think about it. What is forgiveness? Forgiveness presupposes that someone has done you wrong and you now hold a right to inflict some sort of penalty or punishment towards that person. But instead of inflicting a penalty or punishment, you choose not to inflict that penalty or punishment and instead give kindness, love, peace, joyfulness, forgiveness. So forgiveness in essence has two parts. One, it's a conscious decision, and two, it's an action opposite to the punishment and the penalty. Now, I'm not saying that someone who did wrong does not need to be punished. What I'm saying is, you don't need to punish yourself by carrying around the pain, the resentment, and the need for vengeance or the desire for vengeance upon that person. You need to let it go. You need to consider there are consequences to holding a grudge, health consequences. Let it go. Now, I did not say that forgiveness means reconciliation. Forgiveness does not mean reconciliation. Sometimes you have a falling out with someone and you guys talk it out, you make up, and your relationship becomes even stronger. Sometimes you realize you can't go on. You want to limit the association or the amount of time that you associate with this people or group of people. And sometimes you decide, I need to make a clean break. You need to cut it off completely. So forgiveness and forgetting does not mean reconciliation because you need to protect yourself. Yet most times we talk about forgiveness, we think about someone who did us wrong and they are deserving or they are in need or requesting our forgiveness. But that's not always the case, is it? Sometimes we're the one that's in the wrong. Maybe it's something we did intentionally or not. We hold the guilt. We can't give up the guilt. We can't let go. They have forgiven us, but we can't forgive ourselves. Someone asked me, how do you know that you're forgiven? Sometimes you just need to let it go. It might be something you said. something you did. You might have left your job, lost your job, and you feel guilty for something that you did or something that you didn't do. Let it go. It might be an accident that you had. It wasn't your fault. You just hold the guilt. Let it go. It might be an illness. You fell ill and now you're guilty that you are being taken care of by your family or loved ones. They don't mind. You're the one who holds on to that guilt and feel that you did something wrong. Now you place a burden on them. You can't get rid of that guilt. You got to let it go. Forgive yourself is even more important than forgiving others. So what's the key? One of the keys are depersonalize. Many times we have an incident with someone, we take things really, really personal. Sometimes too far more personal than it ought to be taken. Depersonalize things. 2, stop ruminating. Stop creating that scenario over and over and over and over and over again in your mind, just rehashing and keeping alive the pain and the hurt that you've experienced years ago. Stop the thought process. Now it's true that you cannot control the thoughts that come into your head, but you can control the ones that stay in your mind. Learn to stop the thought process and change that thought process. Start thinking about something new. Start thinking about something different. Over time, you're going to stop the habit of thinking about these things over and over again. Now, these are just a few tips I wanted to share with you in the time that we have. And I want to say to you, forgiveness may take days, weeks, months, even years. So don't expect it to happen overnight. But as the Chinese proverb says, the longest journey begins with the first step. You can start today. Thank you very much.